Hey there! In today's video, I'd like to offer you some tips on how you can take some weight off, keep it off, and feel better with more energy and more vitality than you thought possible. If you're struggling with your weight, or you have been struggling, or you've kind of had it up to here with all the quick fixes, then you'll want to listen through this video. Hi, my name is Ken Coscia. And most of you know me as the lead instructor and the training director for the Silva Method, also serving with the Silva Life and Intuition System, as well as the author of numerous dynamic meditations and the Silva Mastery System, including The Lost Sense, Intuition in You. However, what many of you don't know about me is that in addition to my work with Silva, back in 1996 and for about 10 years, I was part of a small team that traveled through the United States working with these techniques of relaxation, meditation, hypnosis, etc., to help people take charge of their lives from the inside out, take off the weight, and keep it off. And part of this team was very holistic. We had medical professionals advising us about good nutrition, about what we need to do for the body. And there were so many lessons learned along the way, and I want to help you with this today. So in today's video, I want to offer you some tips, some of the highlights that I found that no matter what you know or don't know, can help you right here, right now. Just recently, one of my students who was with me in Chicago area, her name is Joyce Litoff, she just reported that 1 year ago, February 2015, to now, 11 months later, she's taken off 85 pounds. If you go on my Facebook page, you'll see I posted a short video and some before and after pictures. These kinds of results are amazing. I love it. I feel so inspired. And I have to say, with due respect, it's not unusual when people apply some of these skills. So for example, if you know anything about weight management, or if you're concerned, you've probably read every book. You could write your own book. I work with tens of thousands of people. We had sold out groups, hundreds of people every night throughout the US, 4 nights a week. And I found as I interacted with people and their questions, what I constantly heard was, I know what to do. I've read every book. I could write my own book. And then I would say, well, why are you here? Because I know what to do, Ken, but I don't feel like doing it. And Ken, I know exactly what I shouldn't be doing, but I keep doing it. It's like it's a habit. And in that is a clue. So regardless of the technique you might know, the tactics you might know, the strategies, the great tips in these wonderful books that help us, if you don't make the change from within, if you don't change your mindset about how you think, your blueprint, so to speak, your self-image, then all of it is in vain. And that's what I found. So let's take a look at some of the things that you can do and begin to apply with this. And I want to integrate a couple of aspects. First, some tips. There are some universal principles that regardless of your age, whether you want to take off 5 pounds, whether you want to just bulk up a little bit, a little more lean muscle, or whether you want to take off 20, 30 or more pounds. The key is keeping it off, and the key is making the changes within. Now, why is that important? It's a very simple process. We know neuroscience, the research demonstrates it, and the biological sciences, that it begins with a thought. Our thoughts and how we think, our attitude, are a catalyst, a trigger to our what? Feelings, our emotions. And those emotions cause the body to release all sorts of chemicals. And sometimes these chemicals add to the distress levels. Sometimes they help us to feel good. Sometimes they're actually working against us, lowering metabolism. Those feelings, in other words, affect your physiology, your biology. And your biology then will take over and affect what? Your results, your outcome. Quick little crash course in how to create a more fulfilling life. So whether it be you want to build a business, whether you want to increase your sales, whether you're a stay-at-home dad, stay-at-home mom, and you want to interact better with your children or your grandchildren, this has universal application. Today, though, I want to zero in on managing your weight, taking it off. So the key is doing what you know you ought to be doing because now you feel like it. And to stop doing what you know you ought not to do because it's not an issue anymore. So hang in there, stay to the end. So here are some things I found very important. Number one, drink lots of water. I know you've heard that. Many people think they're hungry or feel tired, and it's because they're what? Dehydrated. They're thirsty. And the body doesn't distinguish between thirst and hunger for food, nutrients. So what happens is it'll trigger craving. And when you have a craving, it's hard to control. And when you have a craving, you'll go crazy and eat anything. Like the dogs in the background you hear. By the way, I've taken advantage of the quiet and solitude of being here in the small village of Farmington, where I make my home, by the river. It's an unusually warm day. And there seems to be so many people out walking their dogs, taking advantage of just a delightful winter day that feels more like fall. Which, by the way, is also a tip. Going for a walk. It doesn't have to be, sure, a vigorous walk, sure, jogging, but it really should be something that you enjoy. It should be something that you look forward to. I love to hike through the woods. I love to be by the water, scenes like this. I love to hike up hills and small mountains. For me, that's fun. So I'll do it 5 days a week or more. Maybe you like to dance. So it's another tip. Drink plenty of water because it'll satisfy the craving. It'll keep your body. Make sure you get proper nutrients. Yes, you know that. And do things that you enjoy doing. The body's got to move. And here's a big, big tip. Do you know that we have been brainwashed into thinking, especially in the Western culture, especially here in America, that more is better? And it's interesting, as I travel through Europe, the portions at restaurants are much smaller than they are in the US. And when US tourists are in Europe, they complain, oh, it's so small. Well, you know, the body really doesn't need huge portions. That's backwards. We actually need to eat what? About every 3 hours. It depends on the person, how active you are. It could be 2 to 4 hours tops. Just like skinny people, they eat all the time. You got to keep the fire burning. So if you're eating good nutrition, almonds, walnuts, an apple, a pear, a piece of chicken, baked or broiled chicken, or something like that, some real good nutrition, every at least 3 hours approximately, that will keep your metabolism, it'll keep the fire, so to speak, just like a fireplace, burning. Because if you wait too long and you skip meals, you'll get excessive hunger, excessive pangs, cravings that you can't control. And you'll lose it and you'll eat anything and everything, and usually all the junk food, the comfort foods. Very important tip. And the other one I wanted to add, I was leading into before, was chew slowly. Eat slowly. It is a proven technique, biologically speaking, that helps to control the pangs. When you eat slowly, you break down the food so you absorb more of the nutrients from the food. And when you chew slowly, see, your craving lasts about 20 minutes approximately. So when we're hungry, we've got to eat. And you ever notice when you're really hungry, you skip some meals? You're eating like forever and you wind up feeling bloated and uncomfortable because you ate way too much? That's because when we're craving, the brain takes over, it's survival, and you got to have something. So by eating slowly, it's a way to eat less and be satisfied with much less. My wife and I often share entrees when we go out to restaurants. We often, almost all the time, bring home, and then we have lunch the next day. It's just way too much, especially here in America, the portions. So eat slowly, chew slowly, go for that walk, enjoy the quiet solitude, drink lots of water, and most important, practice relaxation techniques, whether it be yoga, meditation, it doesn't matter. In Silva method, we teach dynamic meditation. It's a very practical, active form of meditation that you can use to sleep better at night, to change habits, to take some weight off, to mentally rehearse. to improve your performance, to navigate life more skillfully. It's a very, very cool technique. However, distress, when we are feeling overwhelmed and stressed, it changes the body chemistry. It causes the release of way too much stress enzymes, things like cortisol, and that throws the body off balance. And when that happens, it affects metabolism. And then we don't sleep properly. If we're not sleeping properly, we don't get a good night's rest. That throws the metabolism out. So there is such a thing as the stress belly. As people grow older, they make fun. Hey, I'm not eating crazy. I'm not eating junk. Well, if we're not managing stress on a daily basis, the body will store it, and it becomes what's known as stuck stress. And stuck stress often is lodged within the fascia. The fascia are the connective tissues in the body between the muscle and the bones. And it's very common when we have an upsetting emotional experience, when we're distressed, when we're worried, or we've been traumatized, or we just have been not managing the upsets. They have a sneaky way of coming back. They get lodged in the body in the form of imbalances. And that's a leading cause of aches and pains. Look at the research. Time doesn't allow me to go in detail, but it's there. Leading cause of headaches, leading cause of insomnia. And it causes people to gain weight even though they're not eating the junk, because it screws up metabolism. So you want to practice. If you are serious about taking weight off and keeping it off, you got to do it from the inside. So here's a tool for you that you can use, and you can thank me later. It'll make a difference. Take any book, any lesson you know, any great advice you have, work with it. Maybe you've got a coach. Because another thing is accountability. When you have a coach, it's much easier. When you have a good friend or a buddy you're doing this with, it's much easier. When you have somebody you're answering to, that accountability factor, it's just a huge, huge difference. Keep that in mind. So here's what you can do with your buddy. Simple thing, anytime, anywhere, in bed, on a chair, here out by the river, eyelids closed. When it's safe, comfortable, quiet for you, you allow your eyelids to close. That allows the brain to slow down and causes you naturally to move in the direction of alpha and theta, which are typical areas of dreaming. It's like turning on your subconscious. It'd be like the difference between trying to make an impression in your hand to making an impression in something soft, like a banana, hitting it like that. It's much easier when you're in a quiet, relaxed state. You learn faster. You're more receptive like a child. Then, 3 slow, deep belly breaths. Inhale slowly, hold it briefly, exhale out your mouth. Feel some appreciation for anyone, anything you care about. Think of some people, maybe imagine, bless them, pray for them, visualize positive outcomes for them. Then, mentally rehearse. Imagine and or visualize whatever is easiest for you. You can't force this. You in your life doing the things that you know you ought to be doing. So, walking, imagine yourself walking, enjoying it, hiking, dancing. Imagine yourself drinking plenty of water throughout the day, keeping yourself hydrated. Imagine yourself, visualize like a video in your life, eating, chewing slowly. Imagine yourself doing this with a buddy, having that accountability factor. Imagine yourself chewing slowly, eating slowly. Again, anything that you know works for you, anything that you know is important, do this each and every day in as little as 5 minutes, although 10 is better, 15 would be outstanding. And then, every day for 30 days. And the research shows in neuroscience that if you do it consistently, it's the consistent effort, within 30 days, the brain will create a neural pathway. It'll become habitual. You won't have to think about it. And you'll find yourself doing these things because you feel like it. It's a non-issue. I'm 65 this year. I feel like I'm 38. I've been able to pretty much manage my weight. I'm not so special. I'm not unique. People think, oh, you're so disciplined. It's easy for you. No, it's not. I choose health. And that's what you got to ask yourself. Do you choose health? Oh, you got to have some fun. Well, is it fun struggling, walking upstairs? Is it fun not being able to move flexibly? Is it fun feeling like crap? Is it fun? Feel like you're always starving and depriving it? Come on. Choose health. It's great to be alive, to have energy and vitality, to have fun with your grandchildren, to do the things you want to do, to travel, to build that new business, whatever it is. Make that choice and focus on that in your quiet relaxation, what I like to call dynamic meditation. Again, do this for 30 days, every day, to make it habitual. I hope you find this helpful. In fact, I know when you do this, no question about it, you will get results. It will make a huge difference. Please, if you're enjoying this, you're resonating with it, if you're finding this helpful, please share this with others. Let others know. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Below, there's some links there. You can connect with me on Facebook. I'd love to hear from your comments, how you're doing, what more you'd like to know. I want to start adding more and more of these free training videos to help you take charge of your life from the inside out. If you'd like to find out more about the Silva Method, it's a very cool program all over the world. Just check out my website, Silva Method of Connecticut, and we serve Chicago, all of New England, and through that website you can get access anywhere in the world, at least to find out our team of instructors where they might be. So remember, you are far more than what you appear to be. In fact, you're better. Thank you again for listening, and have a wonderful, wonderful day, and keep getting better and better.